Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. For today's video we're going to be talking about April spoilers for all of the tiers of the BOXYCHARM box. That does include a tutorial with the Life's a Drag palette from LUNAR Beauty. This is Manny MUA's brand and it was leaked as a spoiler for the month of March. And I was super inspired by the rhinestone detail that I did an inner corner rhinestone because it was cute and I wanted to do it. So we're going to do a full tutorial and demo on the look here today, which comes out of this palette, talking about all of the other variations that we have currently found out about, as well as a bunch of spoilers for the next 2 months of boxes. So if that's something you're into, make sure to keep on watching, and please don't forget to subscribe. I upload 3 times a week, and that's going to be the best way to stay up to date on all the fun stuff I'm posting. So if you want a tutorial on this look here, as well as full details on all the spoilers we currently have, stay tuned. Alright, so we are going to start with the eye look. So I'm going to leave a timestamp right here if you want to skip to just the spoilers, and you can jump right there if you want to. Otherwise, we're going to jump right into the eye look first. So obviously I know I'm using this palette today, but I have no idea what I want to do. So I'm going to wing it, and hopefully this works out. I've had this palette for almost 2 years, actually, since it launched. So I've used it a lot. I know how it works. It's a great palette. But you ever have one of those days where since you don't know what you want to put on, you have no idea how it's going to turn out? I'm going to start with the shade Sickening right here, which is a neutral transition shade. And I'm just going to, I'm taking quite a bit of it actually, and I really want to define the crease with this. I'm going in with a brush that's a lot less fluffy than I normally do for my transition, because I want to keep this very tight to the crease, because I think I'm going to end up either going super smoky or really blowing out the color. Now that we've laid that base, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do like super neutral on top with a bold lower lash. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Hunty, which is 1 shade darker and a little bit more neutral. This is a little taupier. And I'm going to actually blend that above what we just did, just so that it's a little bit grayer. I want to make sure that we get that nice brown definition, but we don't want it to go too warm because I really want contrast between the lower lash, which knowing me is going to end up being like pink or purple. Grabbing a packer brush, I'm going to go into Mug, the dark brown, and I'm going to take that, and I'm taking a decent amount, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start just gently tracing the crease towards the outer portion of the lid, and then I'm going to pull it from this outer corner down to the lid. And then once there's really not much left on the brush, I'm just going to continue to trace that shape and pull towards the lid. Once that color's down, going back into the first brush, just going to gently blend just to keep that looking nice and precise. And then taking that same brown, I'm just going to go back and build it up. Now on the very tip, I'm going to take Mug again, the dark brown, and I'm going to put that directly into the socket of the eye and just trace back and forth, just so that when the eye is open, you can still kind of see that color framing the eye. And then back into that first, or second blending brush, I guess, with no additional product, I'm just going to soften the edges. Alright, I'm going to go throw this on this eye, and I'm also, while I'm off camera, going to take a brown liner and line my waterline, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so the eyes are now even, and I did throw some brown liner in the waterline. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take that same brush with the dark brown, and I'm just going to lightly buff that around the outer corner of the lower lash. I'm going to take Beat right here, which is like a champagne pink, and I'm going to put that on the lid. Now I find that this formula works really well dry, but I do like taking a tiny bit of setting spray over it and making it a little wetter, just because that is going to help it to look a little bit more metallic. If you go in dry, it's just a little bit more of that like soft sparkle, which can be very pretty. It's just not what I want today. Going into my fluffy brush with a little bit more of the dark brown, I'm just gonna feather the outer edge. Going back into Hunty right here, that like neutral medium brown, what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to add a little more definition to the crease on both sides. And then one last quick blend of everything. Now for the fun part, the pops of color. I'm actually going to use the brush that came with the Lunar Beauty palette for this. And I have a nude lip, I've got a pinky eye. I'm going to go in with the blue shade then. I'm going to take Fishy right here. And I'm going to pick that up on the Packer brush. And I'm going to go blue on the whole lower lash, but I'm going to stop around here. See how pigmented that was and how easy that went on? Like the lower lash is instantly blue, super vibrant, and not overly like flaky crumbly. In fact, it hasn't fallen out anywhere. I'm going to take the clean side of the brush and I'm just going to lightly soften that. I'm not trying to make it fall out. I'm just trying to soften it on the lower side so that it looks a little smokier. And then I'm actually going to turn that same brush and just lightly connect that blue to the outermost portion of the lash line. What I love about the formula of this shadow particularly is it's more of a satin, so it does give you a little bit of that shimmer without it getting overwhelming. And then I'm just going to wipe off the dense side, and I'm going to take the shade Kiki, which is a little bit more of a mint green. This is a little bit more of a mild shade. It's not quite as pigmented. So I'm just going to blend that over the blue and towards the inner corner. You'll notice it's not going to be nearly as instantly vibrant as the blue was, which is why layering it over the blue is what's really going to make that color pop. And then one more time with the other side, just blending it all together. And then going back into that brush, I'm just going to add a little bit more of that brown, connecting the outer corner to the lower lash, just because I do want that brown to blend into the blue. I don't want it to just be blue. On a clean blending brush, I'm going to take a tiny bit of the white, and I'm just going to lightly dust that under the brow bone for a matte white highlight. And then on a tiny detail brush, I'm going to grab a white highlight shade, and I'm going to put that right on the inner corner. And I'm going to make sure to blend that up towards the lid and down towards the blue. All right, I'm going to go throw on my lashes and then we can talk about the rest of the spoilers. Okay, so because I did use this palette today, we're going to start with the premium spoilers. So this is only one of the 4 items. The other items include the Barbie palette from Pure, the Smashbox LA palette, and the Pharmacy Honey Pot. Now, all 3 of those are going to be variations in the premium box. So obviously I do love this palette. I think Pure has had some really great eyeshadow palettes as well. Smashbox is a great formula. I recently did an unboxing, which I'll link up here, of the Chic Beauty box, which did come with a trio from Smashbox, and the formula was amazing. And Pharmacy, as you guys know, is an amazing vegan-ish and very clean skincare line. They do use honey, and that's why I say vegan-ish, because depending on your variation of what you consider vegan, I know beeswax or honey are kind of that in between. So that being said, a great product as well. You really can't go wrong, and I will be inserting pictures of the 3 different items in addition to the palette that we already used. Now for base box, there are a couple choices, and again, I'm going to put pictures up on the screen. The first is from Elemis, and it is either the Superfood Cleansing Foam or the Superfood Hydration Juice. Now both of these are going to be from Elemis and the Superfood line, which is super nutritious and great for your skin. Prebiotic, probiotic, really helps to calm and soothe the skin. So a gentle foaming cleanser or a hydrating serum are both going to be really good depending on what you're looking for in your skincare routine. Now the other items are all from Zoeva, and they are various palettes. Now last month, the Zoeva Premier Blush palette was a variation. I did not get this in my box, but a friend of mine who got an extra did send it to me, and I did use it on my cheeks today. And I actually think the formula was really good. It is the first item from Zoeva I have ever used. So I'm excited to play with the palette, and I really do hope I get one. But even if I don't, Elemis is such a good line of skincare that I will be totally happy either way. So there are some other April premium box options as well. So they do include the Cover FX Water Cloud Primer, the Peach and Lily Good Acids Pore Toner, a Becca Luminous Blush, a Stila Magnificent Metals Liquid Eyeshadow in the shade Rose Gold Retro, which I do have right here, and it is beautiful. Let me just swatch that for you. So this is Rose Gold Retro, which of the Stila Magnificent Metals, I will say that this one I find to be the less glittery, but it is the most almost metallic. So I actually think this one is less of a glitter and more of a true liquid shadow. The rest of them, and I'm going to swatch a different one. This is Wanderlust. This is not a spoiler. This is not coming in your box. I just want to show you the differences in the formula. See how Rose Gold Retro is a little more metallic, whereas the other one I swatched is a little bit more sparkly glitter. So you definitely do get more of a liquid shadow. So if you're afraid of glitter, this is not going to be a true glitter. And the last item is going to be the Kopari Coconut Face Cream. Again, with all of these products, I think they are some really great items. The Water Cloud Primer and the Stila Glitter are obviously going to be my favorite too. I do like a luminous blush. However, the ones from Becca I find are a little too luminous for me. I like to be glowy, but I like a more matte blush or even a sheeny blush, but not something super luminous, because then I'll just put highlighter on top. So I'm currently in the process of editing my BOXYCHARM spoiler video, and another spoiler just dropped, so I did want to make sure that I got it included in this video. So I'm outside on my balcony in the sun, because this is the closest I can get to outside, while I tell you guys about the last few spoilers. So there is and I'm going to put pictures up on the screen of all of these, the Hank and Henry Sponge Duo. There is a brush quad. There actually might be 5. You'll see in the picture. The iconic London highlighter drops, which are absolutely stunning. I have used them in the past. And there is also lipsticks from Dose of Colors. So those are also going to be base box variations. So we don't exactly know what order they're in, but you can get one or in some cases more than one of these depending on your variation. And finally, the most recent spoiler we got, which is also for the premium box, it is either the Lavido Age Away Replenishing Cream or a blush duo from Natasha Denona. Now, Natasha Denona blushes are notoriously beautiful. I do have the blush palette that came in a BOXYCHARM a couple months ago somewhere. I don't know where it is, but I do have my Diamond Blush palette. Same formula. And these blushes, I just want to show you, they are beautifully sheeny, pigmented. They do have some really great pigment to them. And when you blend them out, they just leave this luminous wash of color to the skin, which makes them super user-friendly because they don't go super overwhelming too quickly. You can definitely build them up and make them a little bit softer if you want, or really pop them and build them up for a pigmented punch. I like when a blush kind of gives you that in between, because I don't want to go too overboard too quickly, and I really want to have the time to gently build up the product. And now, based on what I've researched on the Lavido product, because it's not something I had heard of before, it is a replenishing face cream, which uses botanicals to really help to give you some good, high-quality ingredients for the skin. It has been featured in FabFitFun before, so I'm really excited to get my hands on the product. Now, within this line, there seems to be a whole bunch of botanical-friendly products. So we know that they're going to be healthy for the skin. We know that they're going to be high quality. I'm just excited to get my hands on it because with botanicals, sometimes they can be a little perfumey, and that's my only apprehension, is I really don't want something that's going to be overly fragrant. Even if it's naturally fragranced, I don't love that overly fragranced in my skincare. So make sure to sound off down below. Let me know, what are you the most excited to get your hands on? Because that Diamond Blush Duo from Natasha Denona is probably the top of my list, as well as trying out the Zoeva palettes. Obviously, the Life's a Drag palette is the feature today, which I do love. No, that doesn't mean I want another one. If I do, I'm just going to end up having to do a giveaway for you guys. So I guess for you guys, hope I get the palette I already have. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, let me know down below what you're most excited to get your hands on, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!